Muy bueno. Was that the question? Or
Did we
I
answer?
thought she meant like Mateo.
Well, that's what the brand
Wait,
brand's based on us.
The brand is you guys, how you decided to, create the evolution, the clothing company, it all seems to work towards your personality.
Yeah, and the clothing company was a dream of mine always. We were in an awkward spot that I'm not going to touch on too much, but we had a year of our life where we didn't make any money, and it sucked. And we got down to a point in time where I didn't feel like a man because I had $400 and I know my employer wasn't paying me and I just didn't have any money coming in. So I took the $400 and made tank tops because I always dreamt of having a clothing line. And I hand printed them because I couldn't afford to send them to an automatic press and I could only afford $400. Everything just sort of worked out, and every angle that we took, we just sold that angle. And she stood behind me every single minute, which helped, as opposed to like, sometimes your other half doesn't want to follow your dreams. And we were just a team, and she put up with me not sleeping and not coming in the house, and she still puts up with me. I haven't slept at home in 3 or 4 months. Like, the only time we sleep in the same bed is when we're in a hotel room. But, yeah, when I sleep at the warehouse on the couch.
I sleep with puppies.
I sleep with my dogs.
But it's important to have a support system.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question.
I wanted to know more about your training on your legs, your quads, and how to get that definition.
Do you know what I did for the last 4 months? I trained legs every 3 days. Yeah. Talk about hurt. I gave them a break this week. I haven't trained legs yet. So I knew that was my weak point. I got feedback from judges from the last show of last year, which I talked to Steve Weinberger, and he just said, he's like, you need to match your legs to your upper body. So this entire year, my whole focus was bringing my legs up. I had to bring my legs up to match, because I've always had very hard, bigger upper body. My legs are very muscular. It was just trying to get them lean and get the lines so that so I would match up and down. So George's idea was, okay, you're going to train legs every 3 days. So it was legs, and then it would be like chest, back, legs, shoulders, arms, legs, chest, back, legs, and for the last 4 months, yeah. But I do a lot of different variations of squats. Usually one workout for me will take, and this is on an easier day, 2.5 hours, leg day. And that's doing it every 3 days. But it's worked. It's definitely brought them up. Before, I used to try doing lightweight with high reps, low weight or high weight with low reps. I've tried everything, but now I finally found just training them more often has been working. A lot of times I will do like a really heavy day where I focus on different kinds of squats. So I'll come in, usually I'll pre-exhaust with extensions, where I do my little Jose Raymond extensions with the 15 pulsing at the top, 15 at the bottom, 15 regular, just to warm them up. And then I'll go into like regular squats. I'll do sumo squats, I'll do hack squats, you name it, I squat it. But I'll do at least three or four different types of squats. Oh, my new favorite one, Bulgarian squats. Good for the butt. And then we started doing a lot of extensions and curls. So I'll do extensions twice. I'll do them like a little bit lighter at the beginning, and then at the end I do 8 sets of extensions, 8 sets of curls of 15 to 25 reps, and just burn them up as much as possible. And that's been my focus, and it's been working for me, just training them more often. So that's what I've been doing, just a lot of variations. So whatever I do on, let's say if I train legs on Monday, I'll have like 5 or 6 different exercises that I do that day. The next day, which is like 2 days later, I'll try to pick 5 or 6 different ones, but extensions and curls are always in it, and I always do 8 sets of it, higher reps, and like with really, really high intensity. So only like 30 seconds rest in between, going as hard as you can for those 8 reps or 8 sets.
And going as hard as you can. I have some wonderful video
Oh, jeez.
of her when we did the tour, which the tour was like the greatest idea ever. It was like the worst idea ever. And we were in South Carolina, and it was her final leg day.
No, that was
Virginia, wherever we were, whatever. But I have so much footage of her. She was like crying, like full out, like, "Are you okay?" crying while training legs. And everyone's like, is she gonna stop? And I was like, no, I'm just gonna keep filming. But we're putting out a DVD, so it'll be on a lot of the trailers. But it's just, I've never seen anything like it. Like I've seen people feel sick and people throw up, but I've just never seen. And it's not like a just fake cry or whatever. You'll see in the video. It's weird, but her intensity is just unbelievable when she trains.
It was my very last leg day, and I think that was like the one day, I think we cut carbs like for 2 days. So not that we cut them out completely, we just limited. I think instead of eating them all day, I got like the last 2 meals I didn't have carbs or something. So, and that makes a huge difference when you're the last week of your prep. Meanwhile, I have 200 people in the gym watching me bawling as I'm trying to train. So after you leave the seminar, you're gonna be like, DLB is a crybaby. All she does is cry. But again, that's because I'm very, very passionate. And I know I have an idea of what I want to do in my head on leg day, and there's certain exercises that I have to hit, and I will not leave the gym until I get done with the workout. So I had to get through it, and those people watched me die for about 2 hours on my very last leg day before Tampa. About twice a week. I usually, and abs are made in the kitchen. It's no joke. But I focus mostly on lower abs because, I mean, for most people, those are the hardest ones. They're the long ones. So I do a lot of leg lifts on the Roman chair, hanging leg lifts, and we don't really have good machines. So most of the time, it's just like using my own body weight, but I like going on a decline bench, and then you hold behind you. I'll put you only need about 5 pounds, you put it in between your feet, and you just do reverse crunches. That's one of my favorite. And then I'll do reverse crunches with the 5 pounds, then drop the 5 pounds, and then crank them out. But really, I usually do abs after cardio, and it's really, I do them twice a week. There's so many. Lat pull downs, but I do mine behind the head. I've always done them that way. With me in front, I feel a lot in my front delts, which if I'm focused, I have a delt day, deltosaurus day. And then on back day, I just want to feel in my back. So if I do like front pull downs, I feel it a lot in my front delt. So I go behind the head, and it's besides behind the head pull-ups, it's the only exercise that you're coming behind you. Everything else is in front of you. So if this is the only exercise that you can actually go behind you, I'm going to do it. But that, and I love bent over barbell rows. Love them. That's another one, like lateral raises, where I do 8 sets, and I'll work I'll start with 135. I'll do 1, maybe 2 warm-up sets, and then I do 6, where I work my way up to 185. because I love it. And then usually I work my way up. I'll go up all the way heavy for like 6 sets, and then the last 2, the last one usually I'll drop it back down and do like 1/3 and like do a drop set for the last one, and end with something light and knock them dead. I like burnouts at the end.
I got 2. One is, Rob, you ever plan on getting on stage?
No.
And 2, what are your best, like big three lifts, like deadlift, bench, and squat?
Who, him?
You.
Oh, me? Oh, jeez. I've never like maxed out. The only thing I've really maxed out on is chest press, which right now, which I haven't done recently, I wonder what it would be at, is 230 for bench press. I don't know what squat is, and I don't really deadlift.
I've seen a squat 265, 285. We might question like how parallel, and that was for reps. That was for what, 10? For like 10 to 12. Her bench also isn't like competition bench, it's like gym bench. And yeah, she doesn't really deadlift. I mean, she can deadlift. The first time I ever said, hey, you want to try deadlift, she picked up 225 like it was nothing. But we've always sort of steered clear with that with you just because she doesn't need to.
My lower back is like freaky enough, and I don't need it any freakier. Some girl actually like put her arm behind me. She's like, "Oh my God, is that really your back? It's so hard." I have like abs on my back, and it's probably mostly a lot from bent over rows, anything bending over. But yeah, I try to steer a little bit clear deadlifts. I like stiff-legged deadlifts. Again, those are a little bit lighter. But I try to stay clear because I don't need to get any bulkier or blockier in the midsection. Which, with me, with how I lift, everything's very, like, I like to be heavy. You can do deadlifts and not get blocky, but that would mean not doing as much weight as you want. But with deadlifts, I feel like you have to just stack plates on it and lift it and be an animal. And that's what I would do. So I try to steer clear of it. So I don't do that.
How much cardio do you do and what does it consist of?
Currently, well, in the off season, I was actually doing like 30 to 40 minutes. Contest prep, I think the most I did was 35 minutes. And again, it was a 30 minutes, pretty intense. I love the stair mill. Well, I don't love it, but it's like a love-hate relationship, but it's such a benefit. The stair mill is a nice glute ham workout, so it's like an extra leg workout for me, like I don't need anymore. But I love the stair mill or the stepper, and I like to run. So when it's nice out, I do like to run, because I can't run on a treadmill. I would shoot myself. But I can, for some reason, go on a stair mill. I don't know why. But I like to go for runs and stair mill as hard as I can. But again, if your diet is on point, I mean, if you're in contest prep or something, you shouldn't be doing 2 hours of cardio. Ever. That is crazy. So if you're doing 2 hours of cardio to lean out and get down, and something is not right in your diet. Because at the most I was doing was 30 minutes. And then 3 weeks out from Olympia, I was doing 15 to 20 minutes. That was it. That was all that was allowed. Well, yeah, in my off season, I don't bulk up my off season. The only difference between my off season and on season is portion size. Like, right? I mean, I was just eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, which is what I've been living on. I've been living on chicken and turkey and rice and broccoli and asparagus and whatever, any kind of vegetable. And I'm still eating that. And I just got done with a show, well, 3 shows. But I like to eat that way. The only difference between my on-season and off-season is instead of like little baby portions like 4 ounces, I upped it to 5. And I'm so full because I've been eating very small portions throughout the day that 5 ounces is like huge. But and then if we want to go out to eat, I go out to eat with him, and I still order like an insane person, hold the butter, sauce on the side. And the waitress always hates me because I'm like, well, you gotta do this and this and this. I still order like a maniac, egg whites, chicken, but it gives me the option of going out to eat. Because when you're getting ready for a show, if some of you are competitors, bodybuilding can be very isolating. Like usually the last 2 or 3 weeks, I kind of isolate myself from the world. Because socially, what do people do? When you go to hang out with your friends, you go out to eat, you go get drinks. So, and living with him, all he does is go out to eat, so I stay clear of him. Because I go there at the restaurant and I see all this yummy food and it just pisses me off. And then I end up and hate that person because they're eating yummy foods. But yeah, so I don't know what I was talking about. I just lost my mind. I hope that answered something. Do you know what my cheat meal was today? Quest bar. Although I do have a Twix bar that I'm thinking about eating. Thinking about eating. But no, my cheat meals, usually after a show, this is usually what I get, is we go to Cheesecake Factory and we get I get the 3-pound burrito with everything in it and 2 pieces of cheesecake. And I house it. I have pictures. I can put food down.